Hello and welcome to One Hub Racing Season 16 prospect here. It's round 4, Monaco held at Monte Carlo, as we all know, and it's really the gem of the real life calendar. It is me, myself, Brett, and I'm joined with a cat named Minty.
Hello there, everyone.
So obviously Minty was not here last week, due to him being at a school meeting. Everyone put shame in him. I want to see it in the comments. Absolutely shocking. But it was me and Jess that was commentating for Belgium. We had a very good race in our hands until about 5 laps to go when my stream cut off. So let's hope that does not happen again. Because well, it doesn't help me and it doesn't help you guys. So this week
Well,
we are
that's shocking.
expecting a lot of crashes. It's Monaco. A lot of retirements. I mean, usually, you don't actually get much numbers here, but we're looking at 17 drivers at the moment, and that could even grow as it's still early. But what are you expecting from tonight's race, Minnie?
Uh, Bunch of crashes, a lot of safety cars. Will definitely mix up the strategy. I feel there'll be a safety car on lap 1. As Jeff says, no heroics into Sandoval.
Well, in the pre-race interviews, we had Kong Hofner, who was questioned on a few things. One of the things was, what will be a good result for you in the race? And he's saying top 4. So if Kong Hofner can get that once again, the man's consistent, the man has got the race pace. I say he's maybe got it. It's just he's got to get that qualifying position right.
Yeah, in Monaco, track position is everything really. You can't overtake at the circuit unless you're really, really brave.
Another podium tier driver is Scorpion Hunt, who came out with a very nice result last week as he, I believe, let me just get up my notes here. Right, so last season, actually, here's last season's results from the podium tier. We had Evie Yannon in P1 with next to Iceman in P2 and Peter Parker with a nice P3 there. So Peter Parker is someone to talk about as he's really been showing the pace. We were seeing him basically with the top guys every race, just maybe not in quali sometimes. But I think to really put it into perspective, Peace Parker is a hidden gem in in this kind of in this grid, because out of nowhere, I mean, I didn't really expect him to be that far up the grid, and he's doing absolute bits. He's putting on a show every single race he comes here, which is very good. So
Yeah, it really is. He's only 2 points behind the leader, who is Scorpion, who has 52 points. Peter Parker still without a win, so he'll be hoping to get one here in Monaco.
and I think that is. Oh no, we have another person in the pre-race interviews. It was now. Jess told me how to pronounce this. Okiki, right? I
Is it
think it's
actually?
I think it's Okiki. Tell me if I'm getting that right, Jess. Put it in the comments. Obviously, my pronunciations is something I've got to work on. But he was asked, how will you rank Monaco amongst the full-blown street circuits? For example, Singapore, Monaco, Baku, and Vietnam. Okiki said, I'd rank it second personally. Singapore is my favourite. Really, the only street circuit I like. Monaco has got better. I prefer the generally lower speed street circuits. Baku and Vietnam are not fun. So, quite strong words there from Okiki as
Yeah, really
everyone
interesting.
begins to ready up.
He likes slower circuits. He could be fast. If he likes them, that surely means that he will be faster in them. Well, doesn't always mean that he's faster on them, but he is very comfortable with them.
So obviously there's not many overtaking zones in Monaco, but we could see some in turn 1, lap 1, which is really going to be the time where everyone's trying to get past up the hill, but it's still risky. Another place to make an overtake is on the exit of the tunnel. I don't actually know the full name of that corner. I actually looked at it earlier and I didn't really know how to pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try. But then you have the penultimate corner, Raskas, where if you really want to put on a stunning move, a stunning show for us, please dive bomb there. It is very nice for me and Minty.
Yeah, it will be great to see some overtakes there. Hopefully no one does a Michael Schumacher in qualifying and just parks it up at Raskas.
Well, I guess we'll talk about our sponsors a bit just before qualifying starts here. So thank you to Next Level Racing for being a great sponsor, being so reliable and loyal to One Hub Racing here. And they will be offering our best overall kind of driver who, sorry for hitting my mic there guys, best overall driver for taking part in all the press conferences, all the races, and I believe it's like keeping penalties to the limit and stuff like that. So big thanks to them, and also a big thanks to Liam13, who is supplying One Hub Racing with all their trophies. So it is a big thanks to him, because it really makes the drivers feel like, or keep memory of what they've been able to do in One Hub Racing. Now we have lots of people in the comments here, so I'll see if I can get this up and have a little talk to you guys while everyone makes their way out for qualifying. Really, a lot of people are going out, Minnie.
I think people are just trying to get their first laps in, maybe without traffic, as it's a really short circuit. Shortest on the calendar, so traffic will be a really big issue, especially in qualifying. And if there's any crashes happening, that could really easily ruin your lap.
Well, it's Friday, the best day of league racing, as some of the guys in this league do say. So we go down to, let's go down to Vitinho, who's sitting in the tunnel right, and you're seeing the amount of traffic just in his outlap here, and that's how dangerous this circuit is. Even just when everyone's kind of taking it slow, there's tons of risks. The two Williams teammates running very close with each other, both TR Brumit and Vitinho. Now, this is a subject to talk about. Vitinho maybe been a bit disappointing this season, with it's really just no fault of his own, to be fair. He's been caught up in incidents that just haven't been his fault, and it's a shame. It's been very unlucky for him, but as he begins his lap here, he's going to head down to turn 1, braking just to the 100-meter board, getting the car turned down very nicely, planting your foot on the pedal up the hill when you near the very long left-hander, which you have to get really close to the right wall on the right there, and over the bump for, I believe it is a tree that they cover the road with. So we don't want cars flying over that. That would not be fun. Vitinho now makes his way into the second sector. Sorry to cut you off there, Minty. But he enters the tunnel now, making his way. Oh, and I went on to Rainman there. Sorry, guys. Comes down the hill, braking a bit just after the 100-meter board, getting the car turned down nicely over the curb. As I have a nice voice crack there, everyone, please enjoy that. And now he's going to head into the swimming pool section, where you see mostly the Red Bull drivers jumping into the pool after they've won a race, into Raskas now setting up the exit for the final corner, keeping it nice and tight to the right hand side, almost touching the barrier there. Activates DRS, sticks to the right hand side of the track, and Vitinho goes P2 with a 111.117, but that does not put him top of the timing sheets. Instead it is Scorbin Hun again looking on pace with a 1:09.922. So very good lap from Scorpion Hunt to open the session.
It's a really great lap. Only 2 tenths behind him is Zappadoodle in the Red Bull. And then there's quite a big gap between Kong Hoffner and Rich of 7 tenths. So the drivers who are 4th and below will be looking to close that gap.
So as the drivers maybe go back into the pits, get ready for their second lap, we have some other drivers as Catboy Key is on a current out lap. But well, what are you seeing from the drivers, Minty? Did they look confident, or are they maybe just not being confident enough in the corners maybe?
I have a feeling that they just wanted to play in that banker lap, not really pushing it because the walls are so close here at Monaco that one mistake and you could be out of the session. So in my opinion, it was really important for them to get that banker lap in, and then later on in qualifying they could really push the car to the limits.
Well, let's talk about the standings so far here. The driver standings. It's Scorpion Hunt who takes the lead off of his teammate after last round out. He has 1 win and 2 podiums with 52 points. The most consistent driver, I would say, on the grid currently. 2 points behind him is Pizza Parker, really been showing his pace recently, who has had 2 podiums, yet to get his win, but I believe that is surely on its way soon. The other Mercedes of Quace, who has 40 points, with 12 points behind his teammate. He was in the lead of the championship, but after a few bad rounds recently, it's put him in 3rd position. Rainman follows behind him, just 4 points behind, with 1 win and 1 podium to his name this season, which I think is a bit crazy to think. He's definitely showing what he's made of, and it's exciting to see his Catboy Key goes up to 5th with a 111.0 there. Lehofner P5, very impressive so far this season, doing absolute voice crack, but just a nice clap there, sorry guys. Lehofner P5 this season, he's done an absolutely brilliant job showing his consistency each race, and I mean he's got 1 podium to his name. Now it's very competitive grid here. Zappadoodle is the next man with a podium, and I believe everyone under him does not have a podium, or yeah that is the case. But Zappadoodle MP6 there, the one Aussie man in this tier, and he's definitely flying the flag for the Red Bull team at the moment, I would say. But maybe that can change as ST Max, the teammate, is in 8th. But in between them is Vitinho for P7, who, like I said, has maybe not had his best season so far. ST Max, as I was talking about, MP8 has really been beaten out by his teammates so far this season, but saying that, he's not too far off. He's only 2 points behind his teammate, so we'll see how that gets on. Kong Hoffner had very good race pace in the recent rounds, and it's going to be exciting what he can do tonight, as I believe he is the only Hoffner in tonight's session. Yes, he is, as Lehofner is at work. He said that in the chat earlier, I remember. LRT Dexter MP10 there with 9 points. Behind him is Catboy Key, then Riley Bison B12, Polwich Town P13. I don't know what's happening to my controller right now. There we go, fixed it. Rich 500 in 14th. Cam came on in P15. TC, the Belgium, in P16. O Kiki in 17th. GR Burma in 18th. TDG King J in 19th. And behind everyone on the field is Slenderman XXI, who is not been active in much of the recent races, and that is why he's not been able to score any points.
Well, F1 Farf has replaced him in the Alfa Romeo.
Oh, aha!
And he will be making his debut here tonight, and his debut in One Hub.
Well, it's exciting. It's always exciting to see new drivers here, as Pizza Parker is on his in lap, so I'm not look on board with him right now. But Vitinho, maybe he can put a different. He's about a tenth and a half up. Going for Raskas now into the final corner here. Onto the straight, activates the DRS, sticking to the right hand side. It's not the best camera angle, I do apologise. And across the line goes with a 10.6, almost a 5/10th improvement there, Minnie.
Yes, listen, I'm going on board with Riley. He's going up to Raskas, and into the final corner he goes, not invalidated it. Now coming up to a finish line. What will it be? It's going to be a 1 minute 11.7, puts him in P16, and Farf, the only driver currently not to set a lap time.
Dexter on the soft tyres as he comes for Raskas right now. We've not seen much of Dexter this season, but he does a great job in the One Hub admin team, and I believe this is his first season being an admin in One Hub, and he crosses the line and does improve by 3 times, but does not improve his position.
That's interesting. Interestingly, I was going through TAS, and Scorpion Hunt has the fastest sector free time, but Pizza Parker absolutely dominating in Sector 1 and Sector 2, so Scorpion will be looking to improve in those 2 sectors.
On to the constructors' standings. Is Mercedes still in the lead with a very dominant lead at the moment with 92 points. Exactly 33 points in front of Racing Point MP2, which has really just been Pizza Parker flying the flag for them recently. But we'll see if Catboy Key can possibly improve his results, because I believe he did get quite unlucky last race out. In the Haas in P3 with 41 points, not actually that far off the Racing Point. That can be an easy retirement for them, and Haas are back on the chase. Ferrari with 36 points, also 5 points behind Haas. It's a very close fight here for position, because then in 5th you have Red Bull, who is only 2 points behind Ferrari, and in total 7 points behind Haas in P3. Then you have Williams, who there's a big drop off in points here. You have Williams with only 18 points, 16 gap to Red Bull in P5 there. AlphaTauri P7 with 9 points and a 9-point gap to Williams. Renault, who will be changing. Just maybe Minty, do you want to discuss the Renault changing into a new brand for next season's F1 season?
They'll be changing to Alpine Racing. It's sad to see the Renault name go. I really like it. I don't really like the Alpine name, and it will get kinda confusing with all the A's on the grid: Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, Alpha Tauri, and Alpine Racing. What do you think about that?
It definitely doesn't help out us commentators, but I'm sure we'll get along and eventually get used to it. But I'm excited to see the car livery, because Alpine has very nice colours. I mean, they're very French orientated with the French kind of colours, French flag colours. So I'm really excited to see what happens. Not the best performance. Well, back onto the constructor standings. It's not been the best performance for McLaren this season. With I believe it's both TC and Polwich It's Konghofer makes his way to the pit stop at Scorpion Hunt. He goes pole position, steals it back off Pizza Parker midway through the session there, but only by 0.003 of a second.
The gap is really close up the front, and it will be a battle to the end between these 2 in qualifying. As you know, probably the start of the Grand Prix, the 5 red lights, are going to be the most important of the season, as in Monaco. As you know, as we all know, it's really hard to overtake.
And to end the podium, but to end all the standings, all the talk about that, Alfa Romeo still in last position, but they are back in the chase now. Maybe with their new signing of F1 Farf, they can do the job and possibly gain the positions on McLaren and Renault, who are both on the same amount of points in 8th and 9th. So that will be a good watch today.
Currently Alfa Romeo P18 and P16, not the best showing from the team who's last in the constructors. They'll be looking for a chaotic race, maybe try to snatch that 1 or 2 points from the top 10.
Well, I'm now looking on board with F1 Farf here as he makes his way up the hill into sector 2. Well, he's in sector 1, but now he's going into sector 2 as he goes past the Monte Carlo sign into the very tight, well, into the casino hairpin, I believe it is. Making his way down the hill, and it's kind of just a flat bit when you go for the tunnel. Maybe a bit bumpy here and there as you look to the left of the track here, and it kind of banks itself to let the cars keep their traction on the inside, but down into the kind of yacht section, I'll call it, because I, like I said, don't know the name, can't pronounce the name. Now through the swimming pool section for F1 Farf, and it's looking like quite a clean lap here. Obviously he's not yet to set a lap, but there he goes, he hits the barrier, luckily does not invalidate his lap from doing that. But into the final corner now, down the hill, activates DRS, keeping as tight as he can to the right hand side of the circuit, and goes P5. So if you can hold that position, that would be a great debut for the Alfa Romeo team, and that great debut for F1 Farf, and I believe Alfa Romeo's highest qualifying position.
It might be, because they only have 6 points. I doubt they have qualified higher than 5th, unless they had a really shocking Grand Prix.
Well, let's talk about Quace here now. He's sitting in P10 right now. It's not usual to see this, and it seems like Scorpion Hunt's consistency and pressure as of recent has really shaken things up for Quace, as he's maybe not performing the way he would usually, but we'll see if he can possibly take back his crown of pole position. But Scorpion Hunt was feeling confident in the press conferences. That is what he was looking for. I believe it was a pole position and obviously the win. If he can do that, he can hold his lead and possibly extend it from Pizza Parker in P2 currently. But traffic for Quace. Oh, and that's damage. That's not going to help Quace out. Polwich Town just getting in the way. And I mean, it's a struggle when you come to the final corner there. There's nowhere for that McLaren to go. And that is Quace's qualifying over maybe. And look at him at traffic. Rich 500 getting some wing damage on the exit there as I have a nice voice crack. But there's a lot of action happening in the qualifying right now.
I say it's very unfortunate for Quace. He had a purple sector too, but that last sector just ruined it completely. Lost 3/10 compared to the leaders, which could have seen him on pole position. But
As everyone
1 minute remaining. Sorry for cutting in.
well, as everyone kind of nears their final lap, we're on Polwich Town right now, who did get involved with that incident, and that could be a quali ban for next race. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but he makes his way down, exits the tunnel, really sending his car through the chicane there, but not getting a validation, as now he comes for the very fast end of now he's entered sector 3 through a swimming pool, or well, just past it, up to Raskas here. He's looking not that comfortable in traction. The same happens to him. Catboy Key gets in the way, and that will be Polwich Town's qualifying over. So maybe they won't give him a quali ban, maybe they'll just decide, fair dues. Yeah, you done it to someone, and now it's that same thing's been done to you. But let's look on board with TC now as he makes his way through the swimming pool chicane. We've not seen much of TC this season, but I'm sure the Belgian man can make a difference. He's 2 times up currently, going through Rascaf with quite a wide line. It's going to set him up quite nicely, letting the car flow through as he makes his way up to the line. What's it going to be? Does not improve actually. I don't know what happened there.
I have no idea what happened there.
I see a racing point of Pizza Parker, and he's on a purple sector 2. He's have another voice crack, and he goes through Raskas. Can he take back pole position? As Scorpion Hunt has really secured it right now with 3 times up. Pizza Parker comes out and exit, really wringing the neck out his racing point. Crosses the line, does take pole position of a 9.0.
Scorpion, he has given up on his lap, I think. He doesn't look like he's going to be improving. So that might be Pizza Parker on pole position. for tonight's race.
That looks like the end of the session. Yes,
And
I
it will
believe
be
it
his
is.
first pole position.
Oh, it is. It is his first pole position. That's a very, very shabby result.
Yeah, Scorpion is not going to
The
be
first of
improving, so
many. I see.
yeah, it really might be. But for tonight's race, it's going to be Pista Parker on pole position, second Scorpion Horn, and on the second row is going to be Chris or Quiz. I think his real name is Chris, but I'm still not
Yeah,
sure.
it's Chris. His real name's
Zapadoodle
Chris.
in fourth in the Red Bull, flying the flag for Red Bull this season. Rich 505th, F1 Farf in sixth with a great debut qualifying session.
But here's something to talk about for the top five. Actually, I believe they're all actually one hub veterans. I could actually get the date off. It might take me a while here to find, but I believe they they all have a very big number of races. Let's see if I can find some of them. Oh,
Well, I know Pisa Parker, this will be his 17th Grand Prix. I'm not sure if that's veteran enough.
oh, that's me.
Zapadoodle is 11th Grand Prix. Of course, Chris and Scorpion with a tremendous amount of Grand Prix.
Quest
Chris with
has
81, if I'm not mistaken, and Scorpion on with 53.
well, Quest has 80 finishes. So that's what that is. That's finishes, 71 point finishes. Peace Parker's only had one race where he hasn't finished in the points. That is very big consistency there. I mean, big props to him. He's also been in, Peace Parker's been in one hub for the last 4 seasons, including this one. While Quace has been in the last, well, actually, he's been in, Peace Parker's been in 5, including this one. Uh, and Quace has been in 4, including this one. Now, we will go on about qualifying once formation lap comes out, because I feel like when you're trying to rush through the results there, it just sometimes it's a pain in the butt, to be fair.
Yeah, really can be.
Sam Innocent. Peace Parker is my good friend. Peace Parker is everyone's good friend. He is the fastest pizza delivery man in the business. So keep your eyes peeled. I'm sure that pole position will help him if he wants the victory today.
Yeah, if it was any other circuit, it wouldn't help as much. Still, pole position, it really helps, but around Monaco, it's just something else. Just nailing the whole circuit, getting the fastest lap out of everybody. It's just amazing scenes.
Well, as we look to this race, this I don't know if we got a lobby glitch. I hope not. Everything's been a bit slow at the moment. Um, in the meantime, I'll see if I can get any more of these kind of cool data things up for you lot. Let's see. Let's talk about. Um, did I see a Patino? I think I seen. Um, I can't find any more.
Maybe we should talk about the tires for this Grand Prix.
Good thinking,
I
Minty.
Yes, the lifespan of the softs are 13 laps, mediums 29 laps, and hards 36 laps. The predicted strategy is going to be probably the soft, medium softs, or some variation of that. And the medium tires are 6/10 slower than the softs, and the hard tires are 1.8 seconds slower than the soft compound of tires.
Well, as the drivers begin their formation lap, Peace Parker leading the field as they make their way up the hill. And we seen this last week. I forgot who got pole position exactly, but I'm sure the pole sitter actually made such a big gap from the people behind, and it kind of forced the guys to speed up, like they would in real life, because you have to keep a certain kind of gap. But this could be really smart thinking from Peter Parker here.
Just quick here. It's actually Pizza Burger's second pole position. I read that wrong.
Oh.
He got one last race. So back-to-back pole positions.
Aha! See,
for the Brit.
I thought it was him. But since you came with that fact there, I was like, couldn't have been. But speaking of this gap, it is really getting bigger and bigger. I mean, look at the mini-map on the right-hand side. It is just huge from each driver. There's maybe little packs here and there. But the two Mercedes guys might be able to take this checkered flag. They're both in a very nice position. They're both able to attack and kind of coordinate themselves in a position where they can put the pressure on Pizza Parker. So we'll see how they get on, but seeing their performances over the last few weeks in Podium tier, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some dominating performance from them.
Now, it wouldn't be smart for them, in my opinion, to be fighting, especially with Pizza Parker in front of them. I think there'll be some team, or there's a team strategy involved to try and get both cars past the racing point.
Well, as we go on board with Pizza Parker here, he's just sitting, chilling, really, waiting for the lights to go red as we go. The drivers start their engines, and it's going to be 5 red lights, and the lights are out and away they go. It's a good start for Pizza Parker, but an even better one for Scorpion Hunt as he looks to challenge round the outside. Here's Epidudo also challenging on Quason. Scorpion Hunt gets the position done on Pizza Parker. Quace is currently keeping third position, same with Epidudo, same with Rich 500. Farf also in the P5 there. I've seen a bit of wing damage for someone in the background, if you can tell me who that is, Minty. But Farf really getting a good qualifying for his debut racing, is holding position in P5 at the moment, as Kong Hofner does get wing damage going into the hairpin there. So he made a stunning move just before it, but unlucky to see that happen. And now Catboy Key will be looking to get past, and I can get all my beautiful UI up again, and we can talk about what happened.
A great start from Scorpion. Right now, Pizza Burger sitting in that Mercedes sandwich. Oh, that's Chris. He hits the wall on the inside of Tabac, I think that is. Don't quote me on that one.
A scary moment for the Brit, I would say.
Some wing damage. He gets more wing damage at the exit of Raskas, and he's into the pits. I'm not sure if that will count for his mandatory pit stop.
Now, yeah,
as
well
he switches his front wing.
Now let's talk about the gap from Scorpion Hunt and Pizza Parker to the rest of the field. It is Zepidudo on kind of a world of zone in front of him. 2.4 seconds is the gap. Pizza Parker also losing a second to Scorpion Hunt as he looks to be showing the pace in this first the second lap.
Maybe Pizza Parker quicker on the one lap, but Scorpion Hunt looking very consistent currently. Now 1.1 second the gap is between the two of them, and the gap between Pizza Parker and Zepidudo 2.4 just shows how much faster the top drivers are compared to the rest of the grid.
Well, Farf is looking busy as he looks to make a move on Rich 500, but doesn't. Backs out of it instead and sets himself up for maybe later in the lap as Okiki gets a 3-second penalty there very early on in the Grand Prix. But I would say it was pretty clean for Monaco. You had your small little incidents here and there, but I didn't see anything catastrophic, we'll call it.
Yeah, that is for sure. DRS is now enabled, as the gap to the leader from Cam K-Mum is now 40 seconds after pit stop, that is, or pit stops that is. but still that is a huge gap. Only 30 seconds from being lapped.
Well, speaking about the pace here, let's look at. I'll just refresh my telemetry there. Let's look at Zephyro here. He's seeming like the quicker driver at the moment, gaining on both Peace Parker and Scorpion Hun. But we'll see how much he did gain by at the end of this lap. He's looking quite quick. I believe Zephyro's even on the pad, so doing a job on the pad is very strong.
Especially around Monaco, where you have to be really precise. The controller isn't ideal. But in today's race, I think it's all going to be about consistency, just not hitting the wall. What do you think about that?
That is the case, but Peace Parker is back on the chase. Now is a 10-second corner con penalty for Quace, and a 3-second for Rainman ahead of him. I don't know.
That is a safety car, I think.
Yeah, it's a virtual safety car. I don't know what happened there. Quace just got a 10-second penalty, and all of a sudden we have a VSC.
I think that might be from debris as Farf's wing.
Oh, Quace and Rainman are in the pits. Rainman opted for the medium, from mediums to hards now, and same with Quace. They went from softs to hard, and I would say that is actually quite tactical. That means they have to make no stops in this Grand Prix now and just can be in the chase. But now it's like no mistake kind of territory. They can't afford it, but Peace Parker really gaining. Oh, is that was a snap of oversteer there? We caught it on camera. But a very strong VSC, it seems, for Peace Parker. He's right on, well, almost right in the back of Scorpion Hunt here, but frying the neck out of his tyres. That's not going to do them that well long term.
It really won't, but I have a feeling, as there is a 2-stop, he doesn't really have to worry about his tyres that much. Like, if we didn't have this mandatory 2-stop, they'd be preserving the tyres a lot more. And now F1 Farf is looking for a move on Ridge 500, looking to go around the outside, doesn't really make the move. Well, now going into Sector 2, there is no real place to overtake. Well, he'll be behind the Arnold driver for another couple of corners.
Well, Farf is looking on the back of Rich, but then you have Catboy Key, who's looking actually quite strong today.
It really is great start from the driver. Let's check. It went up 3 positions from P9 up to P6. He's just gonna try to get back up to the back of F1 Farf and Rich 500.
Speaking of the devil, he gets 3-second time penalty added to his end race time. Bettini also following in similar footsteps, but Farf looking like he's got a good exit. Can he get it done into turn 1 here, round the outside of Rich 500? Both of them keeping it very clean, and that's a brilliant debut move around the outside there.
Yeah, Farf really showing his worth in his debut. Maybe if he started the season, well, at the season opener, he might have been in the championship fight, or at least up there in the top 10. But currently on the podium position, looking very strong.
A podium for your debut, that would be something to talk about. Rich 500, can he stick with him? That is the question. But at the moment, it's not looking likely.
So Okiki is at the back of Kapwiki. It's 7/10, but he's still at the back of him. I mean, some pressure is getting pushed on Kapwiki. He can't mess up now.
He went from third to 10th.
That is a great discovery.
Any damage?
I am also looking for some. It does not look like there was any damage for him, as Okiki and Rich are both into the pits for their first stop of the day. Both going... No, it's Okiki onto the mediums and Rich onto a soft compound of tyres. I think there's no... It doesn't look like there's any front wing damage on Zeppadoodle's car. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, here's our question. Can Park actually make a gain on the leaders? We'll see if he has the pace to do that. But Peace Parker is making gains on Scorpion Hun.
It's a really up and down for Pizza Parker. One lap he's gaining on Scorpion, the other lap he's losing a lot of time.
Remember, everyone has to make exactly 2 stops in this Grand Prix, making it very kind of tactical, especially for a Monaco Grand Prix, where it's really no overtaking spots. It's as much to say that Peace Parker can be gaining here, but that's only really quarter of the job, because you have another 3/4 of that job to try and actually make the move. That is that tough, to be fair.
Well, yeah, as you said, one thing is to catch up. The other one is to actually overtake the car.
Oh,
if you're at a track like
heavy.
Monza.
That's a heavy hit for Peace Parker. I'm sorry to cut you off there, but he's not got any damage at the moment.
Now, if we were at a track like Monza, it would be easy to overtake once you were in that 1 second. But in Monaco, even if you're 1/10 behind the car, there's no good overtaking opportunities.
It would be smart for Peace Parker to pit this lap, possibly get the undercut on Scorpion Hun, but no, he stays out.
I have a feeling he might try to jump him during the pit stops, or maybe do, I think it was a Zeppadoodle in the Dutch Grand Prix, where he stayed out a lot longer. I think it was like 2-3 laps to try to get the overcut done, but it didn't work out.
Waits for another 3-second penalty there, added to his race time far. Sticking with the leaders technically, but isn't exactly with them, Minty. But I've got to say, I'm very impressed from him.
Great debut race from 6th place. That's of course a very good result for the Alfa Romeo team, but now he's on the podium. It will be their first here this season, and it would bring them up, if I do my quick maths, to 6th place.
Well, that would be very strong from him. It just kind of propels him and Alfa Romeo up in the championship. Klinghofner and Quace having a bit of a battle in the back there. Scorpion Hun is in the pits and Peace Parker stayed out.
So as I said, he might be going for that overcut along with F1 Farf.
Oh my, GR Bruma though, could he get ahead of the net leader? And he's just about, they're side by side going up the hill here. This is crucial for Scorpion and cannot be held up by the Williams driver, and he luckily is not. Very wise decision making there, as that could have cost him the Grand Prix if he was got stuck behind Bruma.
I saw Bruma, he lifted off a little. It's quite a wise move. He's not holding the leaders back, he's just in his own race currently. He's on the older company of tyres, so I don't think it would have made sense for him to have Scorpion behind him.
Well, that's not what Peace Parker needed, as he looks to possibly jump him in the pits. I mean, it's going to be a hard job when Scorpion Hun's mediums are catching about a second a lap, so we'll see how that gets on. But Peace Parker is in the pits, and let's talk about the two McLarens actually, who are having a very strong showing right now, both of them on the medium tyres, looking to go long into the start of the Grand Prix. I don't think they're really in a bad position at all.
They really aren't. But this is, of course, the start of the Grand Prix. We'll have to see where they end up.
Oh no.
But Peterberger coming out of the pits behind Bruma, but ahead of the two McLarens. Not too much traffic for the Racing Point driver. But now the gap is getting bigger and bigger between
Gotta get
him
this move done now.
and Scorpion.
Now, most importantly here, Peter Parker's on the soft tyres. So, even though the gap
That's,
from him to Scorpion Hun is quite big, it's quite for tyres.
that's a safety car.
There's a safety. Oh. Now here, is people going to make the decision to do a double pit stop here? We're only in lap 11. People could definitely take medium tyres to the end, hard tyres to the end. So it's going to be exciting to see what people do.
Now TC has space to back off a little, try to go for the double stack. But it's very
He's
interesting.
got one
I'm
behind
not
him.
sure what happened. It was Chris who retired from the session. I didn't see the notification on the top left. I just saw the minimap. I don't know if that's a glitch on my end or if you didn't get it.
No, I see it. I see it.
As that was that him? That was a Renault of Cam
TC
came
will
up,
stay
he's
out.
car.
Tino making sure he goes slow. Drive through
That's
penalty for ST Matt, speeding under the safety car. F1 Farf on his brand new medium tyres. This could really be good for him. It's going to put him right up into P2.
Pizza Parker onto a hard combo of tires. I'm not sure.
He's
Why?
jumped.
Well,
He's jumped Scorpion Hunt.
He is going to end Scorpion Hun. I actually didn't see that. I thought he was out in front.
Scorpion
He went
Hun.
into the pits.
The reason that's happened, just in case everyone's wondering, is that the Mercedes is located. The Mercedes pit box is located as located as a first pit box, meaning that when a driver, when there's a train kind of coming in and they're still in their pit box, they will be held up straight away. As soon as the driver enters the pits around here, Mercedes, I believe, cannot put out a car. So we've seen about 6, maybe 7, I believe, cars come in at the one time, and that is why Scorpion Hun is that far back behind now.
That's very unfortunate for the Mercedes driver. But I'm actually very interested why they picked the hard combo tires. I have a feeling the mediums will go to the end. I'll just have to
More people pitting.
check. Yeah, that is TC. He didn't risk the double stack. And he's going onto a soft compound of tires. Very interesting strategy.
I reckon. Let's look at it, right. So F1 Farf is in the lead in his debut race, everyone. He's in the lead, and he's made 1 stop in total. But behind him is Pete Farger, who's made his 2 stops. He's on the hard tyres. He's going to the end. And then behind him you have Paul Wichtown, who's also made 1 stop from medium to medium, meaning it's forced. He's forced on to making another stop. Same with GR Broom up behind him. Rich 500 is in the same boat as Pete Park, but opted for the medium tyres. Let's see if they can make it to the end. And then all the way down there, it's soft, medium, hard from Zeppedo to Bettino. So they've made their stops and they're going to the end now. Or Scorpion Hunt as well, sorry.
Hypothetically, the mediums could last to the end. They have a lifespan from this lap till lap 42 or 41. So if you're really good on your tires, you could make it to the end, and there's a gap of 1 second in pace between the hards and the mediums.
As the
So
drivers
Farfel, go on.
look to go round another lap, I believe it is meant to. I'll let you continue talking because I want to see if I can get something up on my computer.
As he will be looking to get ahead of the pack. Just double check this, actually 1.2 seconds the speed difference between brand new mediums and brand new hards. So if Farf gets a good start, he might build up a big enough lead to keep the likes of Pizza Parker, Seppadoodle, Catboy Key, Vitinho and Scorpion Hon behind him. First, we can't forget about the medium runners, Rich 500, Bruma, and Punish Town. Bruma quite disappointing. Williams quite disappointing in my opinion. The Brazilian duo, currently in P4 and P9. Of course, in Zandvoort, Vitinho could have gotten a win, could have gotten a podium, but he spun on lap 1, which was very unfortunate for him. Oh, have you got anything pulled up, Brett?
Not at the moment. I was trying to look for a spreadsheet I made, but it has disappeared. Unluckily, but in the meantime, I will also then get up. I took some screenshots of some stuff anyway. Let's see if I have any more left. So I believe it was just about kind of sure reports I have here now. I believe this was for last week. There was only 3 incidents reported. One between Cam came on and Burma. Safety car is actually coming in, so we won't talk about that now. We'll talk about the start of this. F1 Farf leading his first ever safety car and his first ever race, and it's not maybe the best exit he was looking for. Pete Parker will be on the back of him. F1 Farf needs to focus on making a gap to the people behind him, and I'm sure that might happen here. Pete Parker's on a harder set compound, and he's going to be holding up medium runners behind him.
Yes, he is, as Pizza Parker. Well, F1 Farf didn't have a great start, but the drivers behind him also didn't have the best of starts. And now Pizza Parker 1.4 seconds behind Farf. Maybe the hard tyre is not getting up to temperature on that restart, which gives a great opportunity for Farf to get a gap between him and Pizza Parker.
Well, them tyres do make your car feel like a boat, so Pizza Parker brought his boat to the right place. It's Monaco. They're surrounded by barriers and nobody will be getting past that racing point anytime soon. So if he keeps his boat in the right position, I'm sure he'll have the win finished, because F1 Farf still has to make another stop.
He just has to basically drive in the middle of the circuit.
Yes.
And it will be P2. Unless someone manages to get the RS into Saint-Devant and get within 1/10 at the final corner.
Now, as the boat, Pete Parker makes his way into Sector 2 here, the gap is 2 seconds from him and F1 Farf. F1 Farf would have to keep this up for about another 8 laps, I believe. To be able to have a pit stop around about a pit stop on Pete Parker, but it would still be kind of close. Do you think you can do it, Minnie? As Minty cuts out his mic, so that is clearly...
My bad, my mic just disconnected.
Alright.
I think he could.
Well, he needs to get a move on.
Yeah, he does. As punished down, he's not at the back of Pizza Burger. There is a significant gap between him and the Racing Point driver. But right now, Farf is extending the gap. And maybe not in the 8 laps, but maybe a little further in, he might have enough of a gap to pit in safely.
What about Bruma? He's almost round the outside there. Oh, and Polish time a bit of a tank slap there. Bruma with a corner cut, but he's going to take advantage of it as they make their way up the hill, banging tyres, banging side pods, and that's a back out for Bruma. It was getting dangerous, it was getting scruffy, but luckily we didn't see any incident.
That was lucky. That might have ended up with another safety car, or at least wing damage for one of the two. But they both got lucky, and went there unscathed.
Well, a reminder, remember, Peter Parker is second in the standings, 2 points behind Scorpion Hunt, and Scorpion Hunt being in
But
P9
now
at the moment. Oh dear, Bruma!
into a novel chicane, and
Oh,
he gets the move.
beautiful. So
But now
well
Punish down
coordinated.
at the back of
Oh,
him. Will he go down the inside? He tries to, but Bruma cuts him off, and that's Bruma up into podium position, and Punish down into fourth, and he
gets
hits.
end plate damage.
I think he hit the inside of the swimming pool.
Yep,
Chicane.
end plate damage.
Well, he stays out.
Oh, he's got to. He's on his last stint. We'll see how he keeps everyone behind. Sure, he won't have a problem anyway. But back to what I was talking about. Peter Parker is 2 points behind Scorpion Hunt. Peter Parker will take the lead by quite a distance by the fact that Scorpion Hunt is sitting in 9th here, but maybe not for long as he's down the inside of Rain Man and gets the move done. Absolutely stunning. We're seeing great moves at the Monaco GP right now. And these two are currently trying to catch a train ahead of them.
Out of every place that you could overtake at, I'm surprised he did it there. But, I mean, he made the move stick, and now he's gonna try to catch up to Catboy Key.
Well, with a retirement from Quace, Scorpion Hunt really does need to get in front of Catboy Key to kind of hold their big lead or kind of damage limitation to their big lead in the constructors standings at the moment. Currently they're 33 points. Oh, and there's end plate damage for Scorpion Hunt. More damage we're seeing, and that was just a mistake from him there. His car understeers just before swimming pool, and that's got to be a pit stop, surely. And he's in the pits, and that could be a race over for Mercedes right now.
Yeah, the race for Mercedes has gone from bad to worse, and now I think it's a stop go penalty that is getting served for Scorpion Hunt. But up at the front, Peter Parker actually is catching up to F1 Farf.
This wasn't the start F1 Farf needed.
It's 2 seconds up, 2.2 now. But either way, if F1 Farf even gets second place, that's a tremendous debut race.
So right now we could look at a huge point haulage for the Racing Point team on the Mercedes car, or on the Mercedes team. At the moment they're 33 points behind. They'll be taking that down by a big lot. I don't know exactly how much. I'm sorry guys, I apologise. But in all fairness, I don't actually know how 100 point system actually works. I just know that you get 2 fastest lap points, one in the top 10 and one outside the top 10. That's all I know.
I'm just gonna check 20 for 31. So they'll be getting 31 points, and they'll
That means
still
they've
be
got 2
behind.
yeah, they'd be 2 points behind.
But with Peter Parker potentially getting that first position.
Another safety car.
Vitinho has retired. Where was this?
F1 Farf has been saved, maybe.
He might have been. And that also gives Scorpion Hunt an opportunity to get back to the pack. But Vitinho retired near the swimming pool chicane.
Now let's talk about this for a second. Now, does Peter Parker make the decision to go off these hard tyres and onto the mediums?
Now, once they cross the finish line, they'll be at full speed. I think it's once far cross the finish line,
He's got it.
everyone goes full speed. And I don't think it will be worth it.
He's pit. Peter
As he
Parker's
goes.
pit.
As Farf also pits.
No, yeah, but if Farf had the pit, he had only made one
Yeah.
stop.
Well, yeah, but I was surprised that Peter Parker followed him in. If I was Peter Parker, I would have done the opposite to what he's doing.
Well, Peter Parker could, in fact, actually hold a very high position here. It looks like he will. He's going to be P4. It's going to be close, him and Rain Man. But he does hold it. And that's very strong now. Now he's set. He's get to chase down F1 Farf. The Farf could be on for a debut run, a debut win right now.
That would be spectacular. As everybody has done their mandatory 2-stop, so no more strategy. Second safety car of the race. Well, what are your predictions mid race?
I personally think. I personally think Peace Parker's got it, but it's going to be a tough job to get past Farf right now because Farf, at the moment, he's got great racecraft from what we've seen. But I think Peace Parker's got it. He just needs to play his cards right. Needs to keep the pressure on. Maybe force F1 Farf into a mistake, but I don't know. I think he deserves. Peace Parker deserves a win, and it would definitely propel himself into the lead of the championship.
I have a feeling Peter Parker will win this. He has more experience here in one hub, so and that debut race pressure might go to Farf, but I still have a feeling that Farf will finish in P2. Now, with how chaotic the Grand Prix has been so far, I can't predict third place currently. It might be anyone.
Well, I believe there are probably going to only be one lap left, but can S-Team Maz catch the pack here? That's a question to be asked.
Yeah, he will, but Kamki Mum, I think he is lapped.
Yes, he is now. This is a problem with the F1 game, and I really was hoping for it to be fixed, but if you're a lapped car, you should be able to be let past. That's what they're doing
It actually does. It did in F1 2019, but that's on the final lap. If I'm not mistaken, on the final lap or two, you're allowed. The game says that you're allowed to. I'm not sure if they removed that feature in F1 2020. Now, a really mixed up grid we have here.
Well, you have you have Rain Man who's on 18 old hard tyres. So we'll see how he gets on at the end of the Grand Prix, but I'm sure they'll be hitting the death as the safety car is in this lap. Peace Parker's got a big important job to get past F1 Farf here, but you've also got Zeppedoodle and Rich 500 ahead of them, so we'll see how them two get on. But Zeppedoodle could be looking at his first win, and Rich 500 could be looking Zeppedoodle could be looking at his first win this season. And it would kind of take him back to the days, but they do start out of the exit of the corner. Rich 500 gets a nice start, nice 6th-10th gap to Zeppedoodle behind him. F1 Farf.
Peter Parker is lacking a lot. 1.4 the gap is.
We'll see if he can bring that back down. F1 Farf will be looking to get the move done on the hard runner ahead of him. Zeppedoodle just looking a bit skittish at the moment. We've seen this from Peter Parker last time out. But Peace Parker will shoot that kind of gap between the two right down, and I would say catch up.
Yeah, Farf looking really quick currently. I think he's playing on controller, I'm not too sure. It kinda looks like it. And if he is, then well done to you around Monaco. You'll be sitting on a podium position.
That's real. Definitely.
I have a feeling that
it's not. I promise.
Nah, but still, P3 debut.
Right, well, Peace Parker on the chase now, but more importantly, F1 Farf looking to make the move on Zeppedoodle. Can I get it in turn 1? No, he can't. Just too far behind, but the train is not going anywhere except from Rain Man on his 20 lap old hard tyres, and he's losing the time now to the rest of the field. Maybe he should have made the pit stop.
I have a feeling he should have, but I mean they're in a great position currently. and it's not looking like they'll be anyone is going to be getting past them anytime soon.
Well, here's something to think about. Not that ERS matters too much, but someone that is definitely saving is Peter Parker. He's on 85% right now compared to F1 Farf's 47%.
Well, Rich 500 really using up that ERS on 20%.
Zepido showing like his experience in the One Hub League and really why he's the reason he's always done a great job. This season it's been quite a shame. In seasons before, he's usually right on the pace, looking for wins and stuff, and he's been pretty unlucky this season, and maybe the pace just hasn't been there completely. But I think it'd be great to see him get a win tonight. It might give him the motivation to practice harder, but someone that's definitely going to get in the way of that is Rich 500 and F1 Farf. Farf is really pushing Zeptudo through some of the corners here.
Yes, he is, and now with DRS available on the start finish straight, Padoodle is looking more and more vulnerable. Now through the tunnel they go. Will Farf go for a dive bomb into an oval chicane? He tries to, yes he does. Oh, he clips Padoodle.
Peter Parker avoided it. Oh, 3 seconds penalty for
Farf
Peter
has
Parker.
wing damage.
Now that was 2 audacious for F1 Farf there. Look at the damage on Zepadoodle's car. Now we hadn't seen too many big incidents, but that is definitely an important one. But Farf is going to stay out with his damaged car, but Peace Parker has a 3-second penalty that he's now got to overtake Rich 500 and got to make a gap.
I know, Farf, I think he has bottled the race a little. But looking very strong. Now with front wing damage, sitting in P3 behind Pizza Parker is not.
I don't know if you could check if Rich has any time penalties, as Catney Minty actually leaves the session there. And I think he's probably left the party as well. But I guess it might just be me till to the end now. As Pete Parker makes his way down the hill, he's on the chase now, he's got the confidence, and he's shooting his car, darting around the circuit right now. And I would definitely be feeling confident after after what's just happened really. F1 Farf looking like the confident of the two, but maybe a bit too audacious and takes out Zeptido and himself. But here it goes, Pete Parker with the pace and the speed. Can he get it done into turn 1 here? He's in the slipstream, then the DRS, he moves to the right hand side of the track, gets it done in the inside there. That might be a warning for Pete Parker, but he does not care on the traction. He is off. That's 6% ERS for Rich 500, and Farf is trying his hardest to keep the pace up with his damaged front wing. I'll check my Twitter just in case. I've not got any messages in them. I'm just checking out, guys, in case I get a message from Minty to see if we can try and get him back in, but I reckon it's not going to happen. I apologise. It's kind of out of control, but we have someone cheering on Pete Parker, and that is Sam Innocent, who was here earlier in the stream. Gone there, pizza, and that's a virtual safety car. Can't Minty has rejoined the session, but he's not rejoined my party, so I'll try and invite him now. Sorry for the blue screen, everyone. But there is Minty, he's back in the party. The Nat type is currently making its process and flopping about and seeing if it will go. But Pete Parker currently in the lead now. Let's just hope that he doesn't get a drive through it in the VSC. I'm sure he'll be taking it extra careful. He knows he has the pace. But someone not able to take it careful right now is F1 Farf. He's got a damaged front wing and he's still pushing his car and he's still showing great pace. Sorry again for the blue screen. Can't admit it's still got that type. It's not that great, guys. I'm very sorry, and it looks like the PS4 servers are going a bit all over the place. But F1 Farf on the back of Rich 500. Will he make a repeat of what he done to Zephido? Taps the wall there, but learns from his mistakes and keeps it nice and calm for the moment. Speaking of keeping it calm, Dexter, who is in an all-career best, I believe it's P5 in podium tier right now, and he's behind Rainman, a race winner, due to his great strategy. I believe it was at Zandvoort in the end, and we'll see how he gets on now. Dexter pushing him through the last few corners here, but Rayman's done a great job to keep people behind him on his 24-lap old hard tyres. Definitely having to use the ERS to keep ahead of everyone there, but he's doing a great job nonetheless. As we look down, Riley Buys coming from, I believe that's second last place. We'll get this up here to position change, and yeah, second last place. Riley Buys has started and now he's in P6, so he could definitely be on for drive of the day. Also Dexter making 9 positions there, starting in 16th. I believe that. No, starting in, I don't know where he started. Oh, starting in 14th, sorry, my bad. Riley TC though, after quite a decent first stint, then he got a bit messed up by the safety car. He's really been the better of the two McLarens so far in the Grand Prix, and he's sitting in 7th place right now. That's a very good points haulage for the McLaren team if they finish there, but he's on the back of Riley Buys and could be looking to make an overtake. Meanwhile, Rich 500's found his way back in the DRS of Peace Parker, and we know why. He's got wing damage, and the game is on now. Rich 500 is on the back of Peace Parker. F1 Farf is also on the back, and Peace Parker's sitting, was sitting in AI mode, but that is no longer the situation. We've got about 9 laps to go. Stuff's still happening with Minty. I don't exactly know what's going on. Jess, how's it going? Penalties have been spammed the chat. I'm actually going. I'm gonna go penalty. I've never actually tried this, everyone. So I'm just trying. I'm trying it out for once. Okay, let me do this right. So penalty 2. Let's see. Rich 500 had 0 seconds of penalties. That's so cool. Hi, I can't name Minty. He's in the chat right now. Just tell me what's voice chat. Tell me what's happening. I don't know what's happening. You're joining the party. You just have tons of that type. Rich 500 in P2 currently, just trying to make his way past, but that's gonna be F1 Farf making his pit stop and decides to change his tires. Can't name Minty leaving the session. Shame to see him go after his commentary was doing absolutely, that was brilliant commentary with him tonight. Stream started 73 minutes ago. Rich 500 is losing pace on Peace Parker now, and that seems like it might be down to tyres. Oh, wrong thing. Tyres, he's been on them tyres for 19 laps, 9 more laps than Peace Parker. So them tyres are really coming to the end of their life, but we'll see how they get on with around about 7.5 laps to go, I believe, unless my math is very incorrect, which it usually is, so I apologise. The gap's 1.4 seconds at the moment. Rich 500, getting very close to the wall there, having to slam the brakes, and overall slow himself down to almost a halt. Dexter 4 times behind Rayman and still unable to get past him. We'll see how Dexter gets on as we go down the main start-finish straight right now. But is there going to be anything happening down into turn 1? Nobody makes a dive as Dexter's teammate gets a 3-second penalty of Oh, Kiki. Riley by second P5, so 20 laps old hard tyres, and this is really where the hard tyres will become better than Dexter's. But Dexter's tyres, I'm sure, are still better than Rainman's, so we'll see how that progresses. Scorpion after making the moves earlier on, he's stuck in 7th position right now. He's unable to really get past this following pack, but TC, like I said, doing a great job. He's second in P6 now. As he made a move on, I believe, GR Burma that was ahead of him originally. But will Scorpion Hung do anything as we go down to the Novell chicane? And it doesn't happen there. Dexter into sector 2 now. Burma with a 3-second penalty. Riley Bad's getting close to the Rashcast wall there. F1 Farf, let's see how he gets on. He's sitting in P10 right now. He's on soft tyres. This was a man that was on for the win, and he's got more wing damage, so that's definitely not helping him out, and he's really riding the curb here. Frustrating night for Farf, as it looked like he could have been on for a debut race and a day in his first ever win of this season, his first ever win of one hub. But Riley By, voice crack, Riley By and Dexter are inside each other currently, and it looked like one had wing damage there. I'm not too sure. Yes, one does have wing damage, and that is Dexter's end plate damage on the front or right of his car. I don't know what's going on here. They're just having a nice inside card moment. Riley By does not get the move done though. Dexter holds the position, does a great job to hold it. TC still holding 6th position, looks to dive bomb. Oh! And that's a very chaotic crash. I'm lost for words. Now, I need to check that again. I apologise. I'm kind of in shock right now. That was a lot that happened very quickly. That's TC's race over though. And he made sure to right. Can anyone explain? I don't know if he maybe just broke too late. I didn't see any lock up. Severe collet. He's been. I feel bad for Dexter. How's he getting on here? He was on for a possible P3 there. I think that would have been a scare for him as well. I'm really sorry. I had to stop commentating. I just had to look at that because I was really hoping that wasn't deliberate, and I really hope it isn't, because that stuff really just does suck. As Riley By seeming to go off the pace right now. I'm not going to comment on the matter, but from what I can tell from a replay, there was no lock up. He moved to the left hand side of the circuit, and it looked as if he maybe slowed down, but I mean, he completely missed his braking section, if that is even the case. But it's a shame. He was having such a good race. I love what TC does in this tier, so I really hope that wasn't out of frustration maybe, and I really hope that was just a genuine mistake. But there will definitely be a penalty coming his way. But on to the rest of the race. That's my opinion on the matter at the moment. I will not say anything else for now. Riley Biso, dive bomb from Scorpion Hun. That is almost a similar incident to what F1 Farf done earlier with someone else. I don't actually know who it was. I don't want to say who it was because I don't know. Scorpion Hun though will be looking to make the move, as it's been an absolutely stunning recovery drive. Peter Parker is also out with a 3-second gap on Rich 500, which means he could secure the win. He's just got to hold back from getting another penalty. Riley Buys in P4 right now as he makes his way up the hill through the swooping left-hander. Can he maybe be the one that gets past Rayman late in the Grand Prix? As a tank slapper for Riley Buys. Corbin Hunt looks to take advantage but doesn't get the opportunity. More importantly though, Catboy Key looks to get the move done on Polish Town down the inside, and that's a 3-second penalty as he cuts the corner quite drastically, but that might actually affect his end race result against ST Mats. Now that's a close battle. There's a lot of close battles beginning, but F1 Farf is looking to get a move on with his damaged front wing, double-sided damaged front wing, but let's see if he gains on Zepido right now. Just gonna check that again. Okay, in fact, he was in the brakes. I can confirm it. Scorpion does go down the inside, and that was a squeeze to Riley Buys, and that's not going to help him out there up the run of the hill. Can Bruma take advantage of that small incident there? Lucky Riley Buys does not have any damage after that. Scorpion Hunt, though, maybe not the cleanest of moves, but it was definitely the one he had to make. He's on for a podium here. Rainman is now his next victim. Not in a bad way, just next overtaking victim. Probably should have said a different word to be fair, everyone, but that's what happens when you're doing solo comms and you don't have anyone else. And now my voice is going, and my throat is already sore. But Scorpion Hunt moves to the outside, and you don't see that very often into the Nobel chicane, but he has to cut the corner sadly, and that will be a 3-second penalty added to his race time. So maybe that will affect his end race result. Rainman still doing an absolutely stunner of a job to keep P2 at the moment, and Rich 500 is nursing his tyres to the end. They're 25 laps old compared to Rainman's 33 lap old hard tyres, so these two doing an absolutely brilliant lap. Minty, so what you have missed is TC overshot his braking zone, smacked in. That's a very nice move there from Scorpion round the outside, and finally gets it done on Rainman. But we'll not check the penalties here, but if the penalties do come into play, Rainman can possibly stick in 3 seconds between him and Scorpion Hunt. If he does that successfully, he could be on for a podium, which would be a very nice result after such a amazing stint on these hard tyres. I mean, 34 laps on these tyres is nothing to go unnoticed, and I definitely think he deserves props for his end race result, no matter what it is. TR Bruma though is looking to get the move done, diving it down the inside the Nobel chicane. Now Rayman is getting that bullied off the circuit, and that's 3-second penalties for him. Zepido, can he possibly take Riley Buys, or will Riley Buys get past Rayman? It's all going out of shape, but Peace Parker has started his final lap, and we'll look on board with him as he enters, when he enters the final sector. But and Riley Buys has had a bit of a tank slapper on the exit, the final corner. Zepido takes advantage of that, and it's a P6 for the Aussie man. Can he get past Rainman? Does have another voice crack? Absolutely brilliant. Rainman up the hill now. Zepido, can he get the move done? He's using all his ERS. He's desperate for a P5. That would be an absolutely great result from the Red Bull driver, but not at the moment. Looks around the outside, but that's not going to happen there. And like I said, in the final sector, I was going to go to Pete Parker. He's made a 12-second gap to Rich 500. He struggled to get the gap up after his wing damage, but taking it nice and careful, making sure he doesn't get even more wing damage and possibly retiring himself from the Grand Prix and get a penalty. Round the final corner though, 12.8 second gap, very well deserved race win, and he crosses the line in P1. An absolutely great job from Beats Parker there. In P2 we have Rich 200, who will also cross the line, and I'm looking to see if there's any moves going to be done. at the moment. I don't see anything happening. So Rich, but Scorpion actually finishes in P2 there. So he's done a great comeback to get back into that position. GR Bruma finishing 4th. Rayman takes 4th back of him, but Riley Pies takes 4th. So a big switch about there for the 4th position. F1 Far with a P8, maybe not his best debut, as it really did look like it was going to be something special. But Peter Parker, congrats on the win. Polish Town in P9. It's been a very draining last 10 laps as my voice is really going. I truly apologise. And Dexter actually gets the steal off. I think that's very well deserved after what happened to him and what happened with him after what TC done. And obviously I didn't say I was going to speak any more in the matter, but you know my opinion now. I'm looking back on it, he has broke, but I just didn't see a lockup. He's made a mistake, but definitely not on purpose. I hope no one takes it as he took it on purpose. I hope only with the best for Dexter after that. And I'm hoping next week he can possibly come back. But there is Peter Parker on the podium. He lifts his trophy in front of the Monte Carlo crowd. Oh Jesus, can't talk now. But I have to admit, Scorpion Hunt done an absolute great job tonight. It was a very up and down race for him. I'm trying to keep my voice going. I'm very sorry, but I'll go through the race results. It's Peter Parker in P1 there. Starting P1, finishing P1. Scorpion Hunt also doing the same, starting P2, finishing P2. And Rich 500 as the first change in position. He goes from P5 to P3. Riley Bies falls behind after a great drive from P17 to P4. CSGB or Rainman in P5, taking his tires very long into the Grand Prix there, which is absolutely stunning. Zeptudo P6, the only Aussie man in this session, and he's doing an absolute son of a job getting the fastest lap point as well for inside the top 10. TR Bruma finishing 7th, F1 Farf finishing 8th, Dexter finishing 9th, ST Mats being the last man on the points position, Polish Town P11, Catboy Key P12, TC and P13, O Kiki and P14, Cam came on in P15, Vitinho in P16, Kong Hoffner P17, and Quays P18. So maybe not a race to be remembered for some people, and definitely I think people will go back to the drawing board after tonight's race. But since Pete Parker is not here, since Catboy, Jesus, sorry, I almost swore there. That's just out my usual kind of thing. Minty, since Minty is not here, I will do both drive of the days. It will be I'm putting mine to Riley Buys. I want to say Rainman. I really do want to say Rainman. But I mean you've got to give it to Pete Parker at the end of the day as well. So I give it to Riley Buys and Pete Parker. My question for Pete Parker is what was the thinking? What was going through his head when he noticed F1 Farf was in front of him after the second safety car? And did he expect to actually finish in the lead? I mean, he had 3 cars ahead of him. There's definitely some task ahead if certain events didn't take place. Now, my question for Riley Buys is, how did you do it? You went from P17 to P4. Like, how do you feel after accomplishing such a big gain? A big gain. That's something to remember, mate, because that's a big improvement. Definitely up to P4. Unlucky to miss out on the podium there, but we'll see what happens. I'm very sorry for the voice crack. My voice is dying, if nobody can tell. Riley Buys asked, it says, I'm really happy, man. Best position for now and most overtakes for now. Yes, definitely, mate. I'm happy for you. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of sure reports, but that is just Monaco. But I will see you guys next week for round 5. I don't know what track it is. I'm honestly just mind boggled. But also thanks to our sponsors, Next Level Racing and Liam13, who supplies all of our trophies, and Next Level Racing supplies us with the Next Level Racing wheel stand for someone that does completes all the tasks throughout the season given to them. So thank you to both of them. They make One Hub Racing really what it is, and they need big respect. Now, that is me. Sadly, Minty cannot be here to finish the stream, but I'm excited for next week, and I can't wait to see you all once again. I can't wait to see the drivers. So everyone, good luck in the press conferences. Good luck, good luck in the Stewart reports if any of yous will be in there. But that's a bye for now. See you.